Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Will do, sir.
Women cheat more than men?
Far more.
Come on.
Far, far more.
Come on.
Far from.
Why do you think women cheat more than men?
Because.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to Hello Jon for sending this video. He didn't say anything. Hello Jon, salute! This video is from Lewis House, in which he did a great interview with psychologist Sadia Khan. It definitely provides great insight and food for thought. In our video, we would like to emphasize some of the points she makes about women cheating on men in relationships. Now, before we get into this, I want to highlight this real quick.
Is it like that in LA? It's very much like that.
I think it's extreme in LA, obviously.
Extreme, yeah. And unfortunately, because I come from Dubai and I live in London and stuff like that, I focus on the extremities. I know in simple villages this doesn't happen. Right. But unfortunately, I'm not privy to that. They tend to be healthy and they don't even watch my content. They're happy and they got their kids and they walk their dogs.
That's my situation, fellas. I took my talents overseas, but I'm not in a big city. As a sociology enthusiast, I came to the conclusion early that the popular touristic bigger cities were not gonna be the best location for me to build my family. So do your proper research before making a decision about where to settle down. Every place has its unique charm, and what matters most is finding a community and environment that align with your values, goals, and aspirations for your family's future, if family is part of your goals. Let's get it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
The people that watch it are the ones that are struggling, and they're usually similar kind of issues. There's only 3 or 4 issues that all my clients will have.
What is that?
Infidelity, men using men in very much infidelity on part of the woman.
Women cheat more than men?
Far more.
Come on.
Far, far more.
Come on.
Far from.
Why do you think women cheat more than men?
Because they're in denial about the infidelity. When they cheat, they don't even label it as that. If a woman starts cheating,
what do they label it as? They
label it as my husband's no longer satisfying me. They won't even say I'm cheating. They'll say my husband isn't satisfied. They find a way to redirect and shift the terminology so that they are void of guilt.
Really?
Absolutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Let's give you a famous example of terminology shifting to avoid guilt.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
Responsibility is a woman's kryptonite. That's why it's never her fault. This is how women cope with the guilt and shame they feel after engaging in immoral activities of which they are fully aware. And the sisterhood support this foolishness. Disgusting.
So how do we know women are cheating more than men? What is it like? Is this public knowledge? Is it surveys? Or are you just hearing this from the people you're coaching?
The people I'm coaching, because firstly, you'll know, it's simple signs that you'll know. Firstly, when the guy, I always say infidelity is a result of men not being masculine and women not being feminine. And what I mean by this is if a woman is cheating, it's because she has a man that accepts unacceptable because he is unwilling to walk away when his boundaries are broken.
This is gold, but it's not the only reason why women cheat more than men. Check this out.
Women get bored faster than men. And you can see it in studies because it's like 70% of the divorces are started by the women.
Typically require higher amounts of stimulation, not just physical, mental, emotional, the works, than men do.
We get bored in bed faster than men. That is 100% scientific fact. If we are sleeping with the same partner in the same way for a little while, chances are we are starting to get bored. Women and women's brains need novelty in the bedroom. We need to be surprised. We need to be trying new things. We actually need it a lot more than men do in order to continue to reach the same heights of pleasure and satisfaction. So if you've been laying the pipe the same way over and over, chances are that she's getting bored and she's probably just too afraid to tell you.
Modern women are overstimulated to the point one man cannot satisfy them. Watch our video about the 15-year-old girl, how she is bombarded with attention at such a young age. Thanks to the impact of social media, she had heard and seen everything before she went to college. Women no longer have to leave the house to get attention.
So what will happen is when women meet that man, with a good woman with good morals, and she doesn't want that man. She's like, I don't want to weaken.
She'll leave.
She'll leave. She'll replace him with somebody who has boundaries that suit her morals. But a woman,
but she won't cheat because she'll have the values of like, this isn't working, it's sad.
No, I don't want
but
somebody.
But I'm not going to cheat while I'm with you.
No desire to cheat. Yeah. She's not a sexual being. Yeah, and so she's looking for somebody who can lead a household. But the woman who's planning to come home late all the time and planning to go on a bunch of holidays and planning to keep in touch with her ex and planning to post a bunch of provocative pictures online, he's perfect. He's perfect, because he'll maybe pay for everything, he'll maybe sort the house out, maybe give her the kids. He's perfect. So that agreeable.
And she can keep getting the validation from all these other men in
whoever
certain ways.
She wants. And he'll say, oh, babe, I don't really like that bikini picture. And she'll say, stop oppressing me. And that will be the end of the conversation. And she'll carry on doing what she wants. And he'll say, oh, you're going to come home today? I'll come home when I want. And that's what he'll say, okay. And because she recognizes he doesn't have the willingness to walk away, when the man isn't masculine, his days are numbered.
This is a nuclear truth bomb, fellas. This is where we as men have to look in the mirror. Because if we are the ones saying responsibility is a woman's kryptonite, this means we are the responsible ones. Don't come here and chant we men and we every day if you're not going to take responsibility for your actions. No man is perfect. We all make mistakes. But what separates the boys from the men is accountability. We don't feel sorry for Logan Paul. We don't feel sorry for PJ Washington. We don't feel sorry for Will Smith. The reason Will Smith gets no respect is because he voluntarily allowed his wife to disrespect him in front of the world. He tried to redeem himself by slapping Chris Rock, and it backfired because he was supposed to slap himself and get the F out of that marriage. Will Smith is the perfect example of trying to make a 304 a housewife. You don't need years, you don't need months to spot the red flags in women. So if you decide to settle for a low quality woman, an LQW, you deserve everything that's coming your way. Let's take it a step further.
His days of good women filter themselves off away from men that are too agreeable. Now, when women get cheated on, again, it's a lack of femininity. And what I mean by that is honestly what I noticed with married men that cheat, it's not that they love somebody else so much or they found someone more beautiful. They simply have a wife that is no longer catering to their needs in any way, shape or form. So
what type of needs? Their sexual needs, their intimacy needs, their supportive needs?
All kinds of needs. So what I mean by that, it could be as simple as there's a coffee ready because you're going to work. Or it could be as deep as I haven't slept with you in 6 months. It's his needs no longer matter. And it's really difficult. I understand when you have kids and stuff like that, it becomes difficult.
Is it when he feels his needs don't matter or he's communicating what he wants and she's not willing to provide that?
He's saying it.
He's saying it and she's just like, I don't have time for this, or she's busy or whatever.
He's often saying it, but she's also not predicting his needs. And that's part of femininity.
What's interesting about this side of the story is that a married man that's deprived of sexual intercourse with his wife is still expected to go to work, pay the bills, and not be allowed to get his sexual needs met somewhere else. This reminds me of the divorce lawyer's story.
I have a client whose wife acknowledges she didn't sleep with him for 6 years. What did you think was going on if you didn't sleep with him for 6 years? So delegate. You've delegated that responsibility. If you don't want to have sex with him, that's okay. No one should force you to have sex with this person. Let him go have sex with someone else. You don't want to do the laundry, hire someone to do the laundry. If you don't want to mow your own lawn, hire someone to mow the lawn. Delegate that responsibility. And this guy wasn't even sleeping around. He was going to those hand job places, where you get a massage and you get a hand. The most pathetic thing in the world, the most innocuous thing in the world. He didn't have a girlfriend, there was no love involved. He was getting jacked off for $50. That's sad. First of all, hand jobs, that's an outdated technology. That's like a Betamax. Who even does that anymore? But he was doing this and he just thought, okay, that's fine. She had the indignation to say, he shouldn't be a custodial parent. He's a terrible person because he's doing this.
This is what we make you aware of in this space. That you will get the short end of the stick if you don't protect yourself. The stories from this divorce attorney often result in men paying and losing custody of their children in 9 out of 10 cases. This says a lot about the crooked system and how women have no problem being dishonest, unreasonable, and selfish in these situations.
Part of femininity is, I know he's coming home, let me just warm up a bit of food. Or I know that he's got work at an early start, let me just iron that shirt quickly because he's going to make a mess if he does it. It's part of femininity.
What would the feminist movement say to that? I'm just curious.
They would argue that he's not a baby. That's what they would say. Men are not babies. But here's the reality. They are. In a lot of ways, they are. In a lot of ways, they really are.
I can be a baby sometimes, but
you know what it is? It's something.
Really?
Something about, I don't understand this myself, but there's something about they could be hungry or whatever it is, but when their wife makes them a meal, it tastes totally different to whatever you could order or whatever they could order themselves. Or when their wife...
There's a love to it. There's a support behind
being
it.
Seen.
Yeah.
It's being seen in a way that nobody else sees them. There's something about, like, of course you can make your own coffee in the morning, but there's something about your wife just putting it there without you asking for it that just makes you feel seen.
She's taking an L here. What do you mean you don't understand it yourself? You're a freaking psychologist and you're a woman. This is what women do, especially those so-called strong and independent women. They can buy their own stuff. They can pay their own way. Yet they complain when men want to split the bill on a first date. One of our most watched videos is a woman complaining about her Bumble date, Steve, giving her a dose of equality.
I'll be really honest. I think it's hot. I find it really attractive when a man wants to give to me. I find that very masculine. A man being in his masculine energy, him wanting to provide and give, and just allowing me to receive it. Like, I love that. I feel like it really puts me in my feminine energy, and that's something I find attractive, and I'm not a gold digger at all.
The same principles apply. Again, the dynamic between masculinity and femininity has a major impact on how men and women experience attraction. Although she's capable of paying her own drinks or arranging things independently, she feels more attractive when a man takes the initiative and is more attracted to him. Stop the foolishness. I don't like the baby analogy, man. I don't like the stereotype that men depend on their partner to cook for them or make coffee in the morning. Although I like it and appreciate it when my woman makes breakfast for me, I am perfectly capable of preparing it myself if needed. Babies can't make their own breakfast.
Now, what I notice is when women forget to do that, they set the tone for a man to now go towards escorts. And I'll tell you why. Because they're always creating a transactional relationship. They're making him feel like an ATM anyway.
He's like, I'm not getting my needs met.
I'm paying for everything.
I'm paying for everything, and I'm being disrespected, maybe, or whatever.
I'm an ATM.
Interesting.
I'm already an ATM.
Whether that's okay or not to think that way, that's just the interpretation.
That's the way he sees it. So if I'm coming home and she doesn't even notice I'm there, she's never cooked a meal, she's never asked me how my day is, but I'm paying for everything and I'm giving her a great life, I'm already an ATM. I might as well be an ATM to somebody who's going to touch me and kiss me and look at me.
Serve my sexual needs or something.
Exactly. Who's going to look at me.
At least pretend.
At least, even if
act for an hour.
Exactly.
Right?
And the worst thing is, escorts and sugar babies and stuff, they know this man's been deprived of attention, so they know exactly what to say to these men to have them putty in their hands. If I wanted to, I would know exactly what to say to him. If I was an escort, I would know exactly what to say to him.
Just how to touch him, how to connect with him, how to be there for him.
Do you need a coffee? Do you take 2 sugars or 1?
Oh, wow.
That some men haven't heard that in years from their wives.
Wow.
They haven't heard that in years.
For modern Western women, affection is a lost art. To cater to one's husband or boyfriend is now considered slavery. Yet, they expect men to stick to traditional roles, such as providing for the financial needs in a relationship. It's not men who are lost. It's puzzling to label men as lost simply because they possess a strong moral compass and a clear sense of direction in life. What are the benefits of marriage for men? Come on, sell it to me.
Come on, kill me, I'm here.
Do you want me to rub your shoulders? They haven't heard that in years from their wives. And these are men that work hard and do that, this, that. I'm not saying they're justified, but they build a resentment. So when women get cheated on, it's their lack of femininity. And when men get cheated on, it's their lack of masculinity. And people hate me for this because what they want to say is, I was cheated on because my ex was a narcissist.
Hold up. You're going to get in trouble with Dr. Ramen Noodles. Because men who refuse to date single mothers are narcissists.
But the infidelity is a dynamic. I'm not saying there are compulsive cheaters, but even in that process, you select that compulsive cheater. They show you the signs anyway, yeah? Like if I'm a woman without boundaries, I'll know because he comes home late, he's sloppy, I'll know something. But the reality is, and people always come for me that you're victim blaming, but no, this is not what we're doing here. The reality is people shouldn't cheat, but also thieves shouldn't steal. But I have to lock my doors. I have to protect myself.
What did you say?
I have to protect myself.
A little louder.
I have to protect myself.
This is pure gold. We made this channel for men. That's why we started this channel. Not because we hate women. It's because men's voices need to be heard and men need to be educated on the foolishness that's going on so they can protect themselves at all times. The channel is called Manosphere Highlights Dating. We highlight men's issues, female nature, and the effects of society on human behavior. We encourage you to become the best man that you can be. But if you want to know how to do push-ups, then you have to go to the push-ups channel. If you want to know about money, you have to go to the money channel. I've said it many times on this channel that I took my talents overseas. I had to look for content that could help me with that. So I watched a combination of channels. Push-up channels, money channels, travel channels, language channels, and manosphere channels. Everything that I had to do to become the best version of myself. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You know why? Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.